thanks to the supporters at channel member Kyle Bykirch. Well, we've spent massively over our budget over the course of the summer, but it doesn't matter. We're a tycoon club now. We can spend what we like with no consequences, right? We really need to win these first 2 games of the season. Hello and welcome to part 25 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have our first 2 games in the National League. We're away against Ebbsfleet, one of the teams that turned me down as manager last season, and at home against one of the promotion favourites, Rochdale. If you missed the transfer special in the last episode, that was like that when I got here. We didn't actually sign a huge number of players. The ones we did sign were expensive, and we have got a new tactic that we are going to be messing around with, mainly with new permanent signing Brackley, who came in last season, got 12 in 12, basically fired us to promotion on the FA Trophy. We're now going to partner him with last season's 40-goal top scorer Owen Farmer and hope that magic happens with the 2 of them together. Because of this front 4, we also have Alpha Ruprecht who'll be joining them for the Rochdale game. We're spending about half our budget on those 4 players. Not quite, but it's really not that far away. We don't have much in the way of quality or depth further back in the team, so we're just going to try and outscore opposition, and this is the team for the game against Ebbsfleet. It's new boy Hollingshead in goal. Ronnie Hollingshead. Looks like he's shirtless in that picture. I don't think he is. We've then got Ian Thomas at left back, who of course made his debut as a substitute at Wembley in the FA Trophy final. And then new loanees Hills and Smith at centre back, with Camerson now without question our first choice right back, because we don't have any other right backs. New midfield on his own, Caden Rodney, one of the highest paid players at the club, and he is going to have to play the role of at least 2, potentially 3 men compared to how last season's tactic worked. Partners Ryan East, who was I was going to say relatively cheap. He's not really. He's kind of here to make up the numbers, but to be honest, he's got loads of Football League experience. So the midfield quality is good. There's just no real depth. And then in the attack, we've got Oliver Adams stepping in today in the absence of Alpha Ruprecht. Agbenone moves over to the right-hand side, and then Ionvien and Farmer up front. We are favourites for at least a playoff spot. I think we're listed as 7th by the media. Sorry, 2nd by the media. I was distracted by the number 7 being given to East there. My water bottle is in the way and I can't see what's going on the screen. But we are expected to do well this season. And we have got what I think should be an excellent strike partnership. The problem we've got, of course, is very occasional. We talked about this a couple of episodes ago. Sometimes Football Manager just decides that a player isn't able to make the step up to the next level, and there's no logic behind it. So despite Ionvien and Farmer both getting a goal a game all last year in the National League North and performing really well against League 1, League 2, National League opposition whenever we played them, the game could just decide that one or both of them isn't going to score goals in the National League. And if that happens, we need to find a new job, because I've ruined this football club. Nothing has happened in the first half, which isn't ideal. We're defending a corner as the first highlight of the game. Rodney heads it up into the air and Hollingshead pulls it out of the sky relatively comfortably. And this is where we should be, walloping it forward, looking for Big Brackley, and he can flick it on to Farmer. So there's the ball forward. He's aimed for the wrong man. Farmer's 5'3". Ionvien is 6'3". You got to aim for the right man in these situations. We will obviously be more threatening when Alpha Ruprecht is back in the team as well, but I expect goals. I expect 2 goals at least every game we play, because we're playing 2 goal a game strikers. So unless we've broken them by playing them together, we should be scoring at least 2 goals every match. Agbenone plays it across to Farmer. There's his. Oh, this is going to be fun. That's Farmer's goal. First of his 46 he's going to get this season, because he's going to play every game and score in every one of them. Second half, Ionvien will get his one of 46, and we're going to have the greatest strike partnership you've ever seen in a Football Manager save. That is what we're trying to achieve this season. Obviously, we want to get promoted as well, but mainly we want the greatest strike partnership you've ever seen in a Football Manager save. We're on the telly right now, by the way. That's why nobody else is playing. We're the lunchtime kickoff on the first day of the season, and we're on the telly. I hope we're getting paid for this. I suspect it's actually only Ebbsfleet who get paid for it, because it's at their place, which seems a little bit harsh. I would like some money too. But again, I guess they look at us and say exactly that when looking at the squad we've put together. Eonvian plays it back to Camerson, who crosses in, looking for Adams. That's a penalty kick. If Big Brackley takes it, that can be his say. It's not. It's going to be Farmer. Farmer's decided he's going to be the top scorer again this year, I think. He is club captain now, by the way, as well, Owen Farmer. And there is his second goal of the game. And fingers crossed, that means he can make the step up to the National League. 2 goals on the first day of the season, a very encouraging sign. The thing with Eonvian is we were playing him as an advanced forward last year when he was tearing National League North apart. We have adjusted him for the time being to a target man, just so that the system at least starts it with some semblance of reality, but he hasn't played well at all. Aguiar can play as a target man. He's kind of the backup target man we've got, or we've got Louis Marsh, who would have to come on and play as another advanced forward. I think we probably keep the tactic as is for now and bring Aguiar on for now. But then if Eonvian goes like 3 matches without scoring, we just go to 2 advanced forwards up front and forget reality. Just have them both running. They're both very good. Just have them both running around like maniacs up there. And then Marsh can come on for whichever one of them gets tired first. But we do now have a corner. I don't really know who our target is going to be from corners now McWilliams is no longer here. We've aimed at Hills there, and Brad Hills has scored on his debut. So maybe he's going to be the guy we aim for from set pieces. 3-0 up now. Away from home, Ebbsfleet were a rubbish team last year. They were a relegation battling side. That's why they offered me an interview in the first place, because they were in the relegation zone. Obviously, whoever they hired ahead of me kept them in the league, but that doesn't mean that, oh my word, Hills nearly scored again. It actually ends up as a flick onto the far post, and Shipley is there to tuck it away. It's now 4-0, and this is getting embarrassing for Ebbsfleet and looking very, very promising for us. I said we were going to score goals this season. I don't think that was Hills. I think that was a flick on from the Ebbsfleet defender in the end, which Shipley was there to tuck away very nicely. And now we will, for my final change, take off Isaac Smith, new boy Priestley Farquharson. What a name. He's going to come on, and Louis Marsh is going to have to sit another game out, which he's going to have to get used to. We've got some very, very good strikers at this club. He's probably a little bit miffed seeing Aguiar get on ahead of him, but he can play target man, and he's got 5 stars of potential. We need to give him time to play. We could end up with 4 really good strikers, because he's scored on his debut as well. And it is now 5-0. Ebbsfleet 0, Brackley 5. What a way to start the season, away from home, on the telly as well. There's no better way to send a message to the rest of the league. And arguably our best player from last season, Alpha Ruprecht, not even in the team today. He'll theoretically come back in for Rochdale. I'll have to think twice about that after scoring 5 goals in that game, though. But that'll do as a start to the season, boys and girls. I also enjoyed the Agbenone show. That's what we might rename the series. Forget Non-League to Legend, it's the Agbenone show now. On closer inspection, Adams only did a 6.7 on the left-hand side, so it was actually an easy decision. Alpha Ruprecht comes in on the right, Agbenone moves over to the left. Other than that, it is an unchanged team, and as far as I'm concerned, this is our strongest side. We need to keep an eye on Eonvian, and we're paying him an awful lot of money. This is supposedly his best role. We'll give him 2 more matches playing in it. If he hasn't scored, then maybe we try him as a pressing forward, just so he's got a little bit of variety compared to Farmer. And I suspect by 10 games into the season, they'll both be playing as advanced forwards. And we're just going to be on all-out attack, basically playing 4 strikers, and just get up there, get 150 goals between your lads. Let everyone else worry about what's going on back there. None of your concern. All of you play like Messi. Alpha Ruprecht back to East to Eonvian, and he heads it over. Well, we weren't seeing much of that from him last year. I don't know if he likes not being the main man. Obviously, he came in and displaced Farmer last season. Farmer now, of course, been given the club captaincy, been given a salary almost as high as his, and been told he's going to be playing every match again. And all of a sudden, Big Brackley, not the man the team is built around, maybe he doesn't like that. Or maybe he's not cut out for this level. There's always the opportunity, the possibility that that's the situation. Agbenone does well there, but then gives the ball away, which is quite frustrating. Remember, Rochdale, much better side than Ebbsfleet. We're not going to expect to beat everybody 5-0 the way we did in that first game. That was an absurd thing for them to try, and they very nearly scored. You couldn't have blamed Hollingshead if that had gone in, because it was absolutely ridiculous that they even thought that was a good idea, but they very nearly scored an absolute wonder goal. That would have been goal of the season right there if it had been half an inch further down and come off the bottom of that crossbar and into the back of the net. No more of that nonsense, please. Right, Farmer's done well there to win the ball back, and he can release Alpha Ruprecht. In fact, he's decided to go all on his own. He's got 3 really good Football League quality players around him. He doesn't have to go it on his own. Have a word. You are the captain. Somebody needs to have a word. Maybe that's my job. Maybe I need to have a word with him. But release the ball. Alpha Ruprecht was in space. Give it to him. Let him cross to Brackley. And all of a sudden, 1-0. You don't have to do it on your own anymore, Owen. His name's Owen, isn't it? It is Owen. I'm learning everyone's names. It's nice. Alpha Ruprecht with the corner, looking for Hills again. And Brad Hills has got 2 from 2. How tall is this boy? He's gone off doing a chicken dance. He's 5'10", with 12 jumping reach. I don't think we've got another goal a game defender, boys and girls. I think it's just an absolute fluke of a situation. He's scored in both matches, because there's no logic behind him winning that header, but he has, and it's 1-0. We'll take it. Rochdale now have a corner of their own and have immediately equalised. And I mean, fair enough. It was a good corner. It beat our man at the near post, whoever that was. I think it was Bradley. Who's this? It is Ionvian. Beats him, and we've almost let that bounce in the penalty area. We've got to be better at defending set pieces and that. We're so good at scoring them. We've got to get better at defending them. Right, Agbenone off on a mazy run. Gives it to Alpha Ruprecht. He hits the first time cross for Ionvian. He can't get there, but Thomas puts it back in. Farmer's there, and the defender can't clear it. It comes back to Thomas again. Farmer scores with his head. All 5'3" of him. We've had 2 little boys jump up over the top of big non-league defenders there in the space of like 3 minutes. It's gone 1-0, 1-1, 2-1. If you just nip to have a wee at the start of the first half, you've missed all the action in this game. But what a leap from Farmer. He had 2 defenders around him and somehow has managed to get up above them and nod that into the back of the net. We never needed Ionvian. We had Owen Farmer all along. I mean, it wasn't as if he was hidden. He scored 40 goals last season, but he did go off the boil a little bit towards the end. So it's nice to have options. Louis Marsh must be wondering how he's ever going to get anywhere near this team. Right, Hollingshead with the goal kick. Ionvian flicks it on, looking for Farmer. That's what we want from those 2. We want big man dropping a little deeper, nodding it on to little man. That's the plan. East doing a good job coming across and covering as well. Lays it off to Hills, and now Rodney in midfield. Plays it forward to Farmer. Alpha Ruprecht's gone off on a run and Farmer finds him. And now we've got Ionvian and Agbenone both in the middle. Camerson just looking for the cross. It falls to East, and East, in fact, it's coming off Bradley! Bradley Ionvian gets his first goal of the season. First of many, hopefully, and it's now 3-1. I didn't even see the touch there. I mean, it's obviously just kind of deflected off him on the way through. It's the shot from East. Oh, you know what? It's a header. Ionvian's actually done very well. And it's 3-1 now. And as it stands currently, we are top of the National League, a position we plan to occupy for most of the season. Oliver Adams is going to come on. Priestley Farquharson is going to come on as well. And he can play in midfield, which is another advantage of him. He's another option for us to play in those defensive midfield roles. And I think we probably just go into cruise control for the rest of the game now. Ionvian and Farmer both tiring, but I think we give Louis Marsh 10 minutes. All 3 of the other strikers have scored now. Louis Marsh was the first big money striker signing we made, and he's never really got a look in because there's so much other talent around him. I would like to have 4 strikers all scoring goals this season. Wouldn't that be a lovely thing? But I mean, it's a minor concern, a secondary concern, because at the moment we've won both of our first 2 games comfortably, and we are top of the National League after 2 games. And the media think we've got a very good chance of staying up there all the way through. You can see 2 of our boys have now made it into the Dream 11. Farmer, off the back of his great start to the season, is now in as a striker. And Hills has made it in at right back, even though he's a centre back. I mean, I am training him to play right back. That's where I expect him to play for me. But I mean, if there's no explanation. There's absolutely no explanation for why he's scored 2 goals. He shouldn't be. I thought I understood how set pieces work. Aim for the big guy. He ain't the big guy. And I suspect it's just a bit of a fluke. And by the next episode, he'll still have only scored 2 goals. But I think we get half a dozen or so matches played. We're going to slow things down just a little bit this season, at least initially. If it looks like we're going to run away with the league, we'll pick up the pace again. But we are in a new league for the first time. We don't want to go all the way through till Christmas and be like, yeah, we're 9th. So we'll come back probably sometime in September. I don't think we have to worry about transfer windows at this level. But I think if we come back somewhere around September, we can properly check in and see how we're getting on. And then all eyes turn to the FA Cup for another season. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.